We have 2 more headlines, and David really wants to pick one of these. So
really
let's
hope I
see if he can grab it.
Oh, this is so dramatic.
Oh, he did it.
Yes, I got it.
What is it?
Okay. The headline says Blue Sky Influx.
Here we go. Here we go.
Retention graph.
Here we go.
You guys know how much I love protocols.
Buckle up.
So in 1957, this thing got launched into space.
Yeah.
Wait, first of all, is
October
this real?
4th.
Because here's what happened. I saw this on my timeline,
Threads.
and it was like a headline that said a bunch of Taylor Swift fans are leaving.
Oh, that
X
is part
to
of
go
it.
to
That
Blue
is also
Sky.
a part of it. There,
And I read that headline, and I was like, no, they're not. And I kept scrolling. Is what?
Oh, no, they
am
definitely
I wrong? Okay, so
That's not
when
all
you
of
say they did. Is it like a few dozen of them? Was it like 150 of them?
There's when you talk about Taylor Swift, a dozen is not a number in that scenario. You are
Totally
talking
fair.
tens of thousands,
They operate
hundreds
exclusively
of thousands.
in 500K units.
I guess I'm operating on the tech blog scale of we need to report on a trend, and if I see
Right.
5 tweets about this, it's
Oh,
a trend.
sure.
Is it more than
agree
that?
I agree with you that too many people write articles based on like one tweet.
Right.
I agree with that, but I also think a lot of the old like Tumblr-esque, just like very quick Stan-esque accounts are on Twitter, and Taylor has had a very large Twitter following.
But now does not tweet.
I haven't fully followed it, but like I would not be surprised if they moved to Blue Sky
Okay.
to,
Okay.
to
Is Taylor
be
on
that
Blue
somewhere
Sky?
else. I doubt it.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, okay. So basically, every single time X does anything, which is all the time, people leave. And so basically, people have been leaving that for Blue Sky recently every time they make a flunder or people just want to leave the platform. And also, it used to be that people were flocking to Threads, but people are finally realizing that Threads is just TikTok for words. Because Threads does not give you very much control of what you're saying, like, at all. There is technically a follower feed on mobile, but you can't default to it. So you're always going to go to the algorithmic feed. It's a lot of people just from Instagram and Facebook. There's a lot of random, out-of-context threads.
Engagement farming.
Yeah, and then the algorithm is like incredibly strong at if you engage with anything by even like clicking into it just to read the comments, it's going to serve you a lot more of that stuff.
Can confirm.
So on Threads, it's really easy to just see a lot of stuff that like, you know, you click on because you're like, what? And then your whole feed becomes that.
Right now, my Threads is like, you live in New Jersey? You want anything that just says the word New Jersey?
Like, I got more of that.
Yeah. So also, you know, I think people are realizing that another meta platform is maybe not where they want to grow their audience at. Mm-hmm. And this kind of sucks because we did an entire episode on ActivityPub, which you should go watch. It is a really cool protocol that a lot of things are starting to use, but Threads currently is kind of the bastion for ActivityPub because it has 275 million users as of last week. But in the last like week or so, we just hit 14 million users on Blue Sky and now 15 million users on Blue Sky. And my entire Threads feed, probably just because I engaged with posts about it, are just people saying, I'm going to Blue Sky, here's my new handle. So
it's like a super high frequency echo chamber creator.
yeah.
Is what Threads is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a guy that made this statistics website that just tracks Blue Sky likers and users and posters over time. And so just in the last couple of weeks, they've gained like tons of users.
How many is tons, though?
They're up to 15 million.
And they gained, I think I saw they gained 1 million or something.
They gained like
2
2 million in the last week.
Okay.
And then they gained 1 million when Brazil got temporarily banned from X,
That was a few months ago.
which was like, 2 months ago or so.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I think it sort of feels like they're growing. Blue Sky is very cool. They use this protocol called the AT protocol, where basically you can have your own custom feeds and you can kind of control the way the algorithm works. It's almost the exact opposite of Threads because Threads is just like, we're going to do the algorithm for you. And on Blue Sky, you basically create your own algorithm. They have this feature called starter packs where if someone that you follow decides to make a pack of people that they follow, you could just instantly follow all the same people. So it has a lot of onboarding features that I think people really like. And it feels exactly like the old version of Twitter. The interesting thing about competing protocols is always going to be that there's a long period of time before we see anything that universally wins out. Unfortunately, ActivityPub is like the protocol that's published by the W3C, and so it's not owned by anyone, and that's awesome. Unfortunately, Bluesky is owned by Bluesky, and the AT protocol is open source, but it's still owned by a Bluesky is still owned by a company. So kind of pick your poison. I don't know if we're ever going to get back to a point where we had the same social media that Twitter used to be. So. I don't think that's ever going to happen again. But it's just been really interesting seeing people kind of like moving around to all these different options.
Yeah.
So
this website is really interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to contextualize what 15 million users looks like and like the rate of people joining per day. Mm-hmm. The bottom of the website, maybe we can link this in the show notes, shows followers per user percentile. So if you have 6 followers, you're in the 75th percentile of all of Bluesky. And if you have 400 followers, you're in the 99th percentile of all. Wow! So there's lots. Wow. That just means there's lots of new people.
Yeah,
because most people have 0 followers. Right. They're just joining and like hopping around, following a few people. So yeah, that is indicative of activity.
Yeah, I specifically like that you can just default to the following feed and just look at everything, at all the people that you're following. There's also a popular with friends option, which is algorithmic but based on the people you're following, which is a nice sort of like, narrow version of that. And then there's Discover, which is what's popular. And then you can follow your own feeds based on feeds that people create. So it's very intentional social media, which is very cool.
You don't have it defaulting to the dog pics feed?
It's funny because there's a picture of a dog on his screen right now from Tom Warren.
But yeah, I don't know. It's fun.
Do you have it on your phone?
I do have it on my phone. The app is really good. It actually was originally only on.
Yeah. I was on it when it was invite only and messed around for a while, but that was not a great experience. Because that felt like a lot of kind of what Threads feels like right now, which is like, hey, I'm new to Threads. Who can I find here that's like cool to chat with or whatever, which is kind of weird. But I've been on Threads a lot more lately. I don't really like it.
Yeah, because it's addictive and...
No, well, that's the thing I don't like. I've stopped. I took Twitter off my phone. I put Threads there, and I've been calling Threads like the nicotine gum of like my social media experience right now. Of like,
I just want to scroll.
If Twitter was the cigarets that I was using all of the time, I'm like, I need to stop Twitter. Let's go on Threads, it's basically like, I put it in the exact same spot on my phone where Twitter was, so I just default click it, and then after like 3 posts, I'm just like, I don't need to do this, and then I don't do it. Yeah, and then it's slowly weaning me off of that level of like quick post social media, and now I just play the Pokemon card game instead. Which is really good.
It is really good.
After we talked about it,
the thing I love about Bluesky right now is like the alternate feeds, so I can use a feed just for looking at news for the podcast, and I can also use a feed for what my friends are talking about. And when you go to the friend feed or the following feed, not friends, just the following feed, you can kind of scroll down until you like, I recognize that post. The last time I opened it, that was the first one, so now I'm done. And then you get off.
Chronological feeds.
It's great.
I miss Google Plus.
We could have had it all.
Google Plus was the Google Glass of social media.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about it. It was ahead of its time. Anyway, it's fascinating. It is growing a lot.
I kind of think where they fumbled was they kept it invite only for too long. There was a period of time where it was extremely hype because it was invite only. But if you do that for too long, I think Arc also had this issue, and many applications will have this issue where they just keep it too closed off for too long, and then alternatives pop up and people lose interest. And if they'd opened it up like 4 or 5 months earlier, I think that they would have had a lot more growth. But it's interesting to see their growth right now anyway. So
I feel like social media is just turning into this thing of like, you get really into it, then you don't really want to use it anymore, but you kind of have to keep it around for some sort of contact with a couple people. At this point now, Facebook and Twitter is just like, I've realized I know people on there where that's the only way I can contact them, so I have to keep them, but maybe I should just ask for their email or something.
Email is forever.
I don't post on my personal Facebook, but it is like...
It's all my family.
It's an era of communication, basically. Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching this clip. Fun fact, so what we're going to do, just so you can see what rotoscoping results can look like, I'm going to have Adam rotoscope me out from the background, so you can put a giant subscribe button between me and the background. Right, Adam? You can just... So that they can see what cool features we just got with Final Cut. Hopefully it's like one click away, but
I'm not doing that.
okay.
David and I aren't even in the studio right now.
We're in
actually on
Hawaii.
a green screen, and this is rotoscoped. No, that's. We're not here.
We're in Hawaii.
I hope that works.